So as we continue with this story, with the ceasefire in Gaza due to come into effect in the next hour and a half, it's being reported that Israeli forces have begun withdrawing from the southern city of Rafah, that's towards the border with Egypt. The Israeli army says it has set up medical facilities near Gaza to receive the 3 female Israeli hostages Hamas is also expected to release. So Israel says it will not move forward with the deal until their names are confirmed. So for more on the upcoming ceasefire, we're going to be speaking to SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena. Sophie, good morning, and thank you for making time to chat. Rather historic moment that we're set to witness. But we're looking at developments overnight. We also heard sentiments by Netanyahu saying that it is temporary, the ceasefire that is going to be implemented. What do we know at this point? What's expected to happen this morning?
Well, you are correct, Lizelle. Last night, Benjamin Netanyahu indicated that they've requested a list of those who will be released. We know that we expect a number of hostages to be released, but also on the side of Israel, we expect the Israel Authority to release hundreds of Palestinians who have been languishing in jails in that country. And therefore, we are waiting to see whether this morning we'll get the news from Hamas, in particular, indicating whether they will release that list. We expect this to happen because both sides have made a commitment that they will not violate the ceasefire. As you heard earlier on, the spokesperson of the United Nations Human Rights Commission, that is Ravani Shamnandas, in that package saying that this must be done, and therefore it is time for the Palestinians to find a way to stabilize their areas and them carrying on with their lives. But as you can see, with Israel, it is still not guaranteed that everything will happen as planned. But the ceasefire is expected to start at 8:30 South African time and local time this morning. But we were told that the release is likely going to happen in the afternoon, because when the ceasefire starts, immediately the fighting will stop. As you can see in those visuals there, the smoke, it speaks to the still bombardment, and that bombardment will end at 8:30. So we'll see at 8:30 whether we are going to see some movements in the strip, because then you have to move these people who will be released in a secure place, and you know that it's a logistical nightmare because there must be security. There must also be a Red Cross that will receive them and debrief them, and therefore then they will take them to a place where they will be handed over to the Israeli officials. It's not Hamas that's going to release them to Israel. Hamas will release them to Red Cross, and Red Cross will then take them to a place near the border where the officials of Israel will be waiting to receive them. And you'd recall that when this happened, you also expect, as we have indicated, the Israeli Defense Force to move out of Gaza Strip in the populated area to the outskirts.
So, Sophie, the clock is ticking. We're edging closer to 6:30 GMT or about 8:30 SA time. And perhaps we're looking at the terms and conditions of the agreement. Perhaps you could give us some more details about that ceasefire agreement, how it is then linked to the release of the hostages, the different phases as well.
3 phases. The first phase that we are talking about, 8:30 this morning, in an hour and a half, ceasefire comes into being. You stop fighting. The movement starts in terms of the release of hostages and those who were captured by Israeli who are in jail, the Palestinians. Secondly, the Israeli Defense Force will move out of populated area of Gaza. As you can see behind me, that destruction, they move out there. They go to the outskirts. At the same time, negotiations are continuing to ensure that you reach the second phase. The second phase, you will see another release of hostages and also bodies of hostages who have since died or who were killed in the process. And also a continuation of the release of Palestinians who are in jails in Israel. And then the last phase, this is where now it becomes very critical. The intention with the third phase is to find a lasting solution. That is going to be very protracted if we get there. Unless in the middle of this there's a violation of this ceasefire, that is finding a solution and a rebuilding of Gaza. And this is going to be very, very difficult. And international community will have to put pressure, as we had the ANC there and the EFF talking about what needs to happen.
Yeah, well, Sophie, we're obviously watching, or the world is watching with bated breath. Thank you for that update, for painting that picture. I know that you're going to be with us as the day progresses to monitor those developments. But we do know Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal. It's set to come into effect in just under an hour and a half or so. You're tuning to SABC News, and we'll continue to bring you the latest as those developments unfold.